Okay. Y'all know I'm so excited to be sitting up for Phase 1.
Tour. Roll back.
Roll back.
Roll back. Y'all know who it is. If you don't know who it is, who you?
I'm Bodie. I had to think about which name will I say. Okay. I'm Bodie. Also known as the Bodie Hotel. And it's an honor to be here with my son, Phase 1. So this is a very, I'm going to be totally honest with you. Can I tell you what I have told you?
Always.
I'm a little nervous.
Always.
And that's okay. I'm a little nervous. I'm honored to be here with my son, Phase 1, and his wife, and his staff. Beautiful, beautiful. This is a beautiful day. And, we just let it flow.
It's all good. What is today?
Today is June 26, 2025 AD, which is the first annual, what's the name of the event?
Exoneration Day. Freedom Day.
Freedom Day, which is also called Exoneration Day. Because we have Family Day, but we also call it Savior's Day. Yeah. Right? So we can have, you know what I mean? We know it was Savior's Day, but it was also Family Day. But this is Freedom Day, celebrating the freedom of Dr. Malachi York. The innocent victim is now exonerated. We're celebrating and accelerating his exoneration. And this is the first annual event. And there you have it. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just grateful because of all the signs that are coming out. Everything we've been able to see. I was talking to my dad, Shadow, last night about the green light. And then we literally saw it on multiple occasions. Those of y'all who were on the live, I was told to go live. I felt to go live. I pointed to live literally at the sky. You were able to see the green light, some of y'all. And I saw some of y'all recordings. I didn't see the green light in the recording. So when you heard me say, Shadow, only we can see the green light, I'm talking about the elect. The very elect are making this move. And you also were able to hear me say, and the sisters came and they confirmed it for you, and they confirmed it for you, that the green light that was the biggest event of all didn't flash. It stayed for a while. Then it dipped out. So I have 2 witnesses that saw that. But every sister that's around me, the 3 sisters that are around me, including my wife, they have all seen the green light. So one of the biggest questions, especially for this day and time, you saying you one of the chosen or the elect, have you seen the green light? Has it made itself visible to you? And only the elect will be given the opportunity to see it. I know that that's true. And also, again, just great to be able to experience it and to see how things are playing out. Also, to see and hear people talking about some meteorite shower that just took place. That was beautiful. I was on live. I don't know if y'all remember, but I was on live and I said, yo, did y'all hear that thunder? I said, y'all heard that? I said, that don't sound like no thunder though. I said, it's a little different. I said, it's a little too low for y'all to be able to hear it. But people were making reports about that all over the nation. And what they said, North Carolina, I think Mississippi, I know Georgia, South Carolina, different places said that they saw some type of meteorite-looking thing come into the atmosphere. And it made earthquake-type shakes and sounds and thunderous sounds. They don't know what it is. But it comes on June 26th. After I told y'all the vortex already open. I literally showed you the vortex opening above me. That's another thing, right? Where we're in a position now where we can say, we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to show you. I don't want to hear no talk about, show me. I don't want to hear no talk about, I'm this incarnate, this, that, show me. I don't want to hear no talk about, I this, show me. And you're in the presence of people, and by in presence, I'm saying you hear my voice. You're in the presence of people who have been not only in position to see it for themselves, we can show at any given time. That's why I told you the show or the revealing isn't over. So here we are on Dr. Malachi York's birthday or his New Year, and all of these signs are being shown, and it's not over. Keep your eyes open. Look for that green light. All right? Don't be getting nervous. There's an old meteor shower. They don't know what that is coming in through the atmosphere. They got so many things they're looking at now, they don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. What you got?
And I'm just,
you see, you hear that? Okay? Yeah. They don't know what it is. We know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. And how many people y'all came to the show and I showed you what it was? We went out there on the back porch and I said, look, and y'all looked up and y'all saw the crafts flying over and they blinked that light, or that's a single light, a single occurrence. and you want to know who they are. Okay? We don't want to hear anything about what the beginning of the teacher said. We don't need leaders that don't know how to lead. We don't need teachers that don't know how to teach. We already, the illusion is over. Remember you said that. You said there's going to come a time where you're going to shatter the illusion in front of everybody. And you said what? Remember I told you what you said? You were like, we're going to be like, yay! Yay! And the people, you can hear the people talking about yay now. You know what I mean? Because we don't want, if you're not going to be able to meet us in that center, no matter what you claim you are, that only exists in illusion. The reality exists in the center, the axis, the center point. And that's what Malachi said in the Holy Tablets. I am the center, the green light. So if you're seeing the green light, you can't say now, look, they could have played games with you, but they can't play games with you now. Say, okay, Omari or Phase 1 came out with the green light movement. I told you from the beginning, I came forth with the green light movement, but the one who came out with it is Dr. Malachi York, Imam Asa's Sons of the Green Light. Yeah, he was in there, right?
That's right.
Sons of the Green Light. Yes. So I just reminded you of it, but it's been here. So now that you got the reminder, I said it's going to take you some time for that green light to latch on to you and become a part of you. I want to be you. It has to be a part of you. And then it's going to, start to emit from your very aura, and they'll see you. They'll be able to detect you. You send out the signal first. You threw out the signal. Go back and watch the movie Elio. You sent out the signal, then they came and found you. Some of y'all going to think of the music different now, right? I said, threw a signal, and they came and found me. Right? I've been throwing out the signal. I told y'all how to throw out the signal. Now you just saw that they will pull up. We're not talking about no government, Stephen Greer, Majestic 12. We're talking about reality. We're talking about, I just said, what's the movie I brought up yesterday? With the green, and the green light. It's a movie I brought up. Meteor Man. Last night I said Meteor Man. Earlier today I talked about Meteor Man. And then at 1:30 there was a Meteor Man. I just said it. But why would I mention Meteor Man? Now, you see, you got to keep up with me, because how fast could I be able to make this up? You don't see no computer in front of me, no laptop, no Google. What would I make? Meteor Man. Tell us about Meteor Man. This one can tell you about it.
It was a movie about Robert Townsend.
Who's Robert Townsend?
Robert Townsend is he's an Wapian, he's an Ansar. He did a movie about a green meteorite hitting the planet, and when it hit the planet, everybody had extraordinary abilities.
Come on.
No one could explain what that meteor was, and he showed an actual scene in the movie dealing with what happened in Brooklyn, New York with Malachi York, right? When the Italian mafia, the Gambinos and certain other families was trying to shake our family down, trying to shake the Nubian nation down, but they couldn't shake us down. So the Italian mafia threatened all of the Nubian nation, the Ansars in Brooklyn, on Bushwick Avenue, to begin to share or to extort us out of our monies, because we had Nubian restaurants, we had Nubian laundromats, we had all type of franchises and enterprises. We were extremely successful as a nation, very powerful, very wealthy, and it intimidated the Italians. So they came to us and said that if we don't give them a portion of all the things that the Most High was blessing us with, that they themselves, the Italians, were going to kill us. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Kill all of us, kill the entire neighborhood of all the brothers. Yeah. And they said they're coming back tomorrow, which would have been the next day, right, for the money. And Pop said, well, we're not giving you nothing. They said, well, if you jigs don't give it to us, we're coming to take it, and we're going to kill everybody. So the next day, Yanun, Dr. Malachi York, called all the brothers from Philly, Chicago, Baltimore, different Spring Valley. Thousands of brothers came from all over the country wearing white robes like y'all see me in. Can I stand up?
You good, you good.
Okay. Where the camera at, by the way?
Right in front of you.
Okay, good. Yeah. Right. So we all came in our Jalabeers, and when we came in our Jalabeers, the Italian mafia, when they pulled up, they didn't know we were there, because Pops told all the brothers to hide on top of the roof. So if anybody know anything about Bushwick Avenue, the way the buildings are set up, you know, you can just climb on top of the roof through the stairs or the fire escape or what have you. So, and we owned the whole blocks. So when they pulled up, they came about 50 deep, and they were ready to shoot up. And they asked, they said, I forgot what they called Pop. I think they called him York, I'm not sure. But whatever they called him, they said, are you ready to pay up? Pop said, no. They said, well, y'all about to die. And they pull out their guns, and Pop said, wait, before you do that, I got something to show you. And they said, what you gonna show us? And Pop snapped his finger, and all the brothers stood up on top of the roof with their hands inside their jackets, and we didn't have no guns. And we all had, you know what I mean? And thousands of brothers. And Pop says, that's what's gonna stop you. And they said, we don't want no problems. And they got in their cars, pulled off, and we never had an issue with the Italian Mafia ever again. And that scene is in the Meteorite movie.
Yep. Oh, that's true. Oh, you said go ahead? Yeah. Okay, so then the main thing that I want to bring attention to, because I was talking to you, I think it was, about a month ago, about you. I don't know if you remember what Tara was talking about with Pop sent her to the land when they were doing the testimonies, and he was like, tell them how powerful I am. Did she ever tell you that?
No.
I want to talk about it. So a lot of people didn't get to experience or hear the miracles. I want to talk about the miracles.
Come on.
Can you tell me something about the miracles that you experienced
With Yanun?
with Yanun, Imam Isa, any Melchizedek, whatever comes to your heart? What were the miracles? Let's hear that, because we need those stories, especially right now today.
Right. Well, real quick, there was a time when me and the brother Azam, in Ansar, we always propagated 2 by 2. So you always got to go out with a propagating partner.
Right.
My partner was Azam, brother Jody King, real quick. So we would put on our robes. This is 1991 March. Was it March? No, March 1992. Right. So we were in Atlanta at 5 Point Station, and so we were waiting on the train to come. Right. And while we were waiting on the train to come, all of a sudden I felt this light on the inside of me. It was love, but it was like, ooh. I felt that I was reaching down because the train. You ever been to 5 Points?
Yep.
You know when the southbound train come?
Yep.
So from 5 Points, it would take you to southbound. We would get off in Oakland City. We would go to the check cash place where we would set up and distribute our pamphlets of peace. Okay, so we was at 5 Points and we were waiting on the train to come. You know what I mean? Everybody should have a testimony, right? But we were waiting on the train to come, and when the train came, right, to go southbound, I bent over, was getting my books, and I felt this enormous light just rushing me. And I was like, Azam, you feel that? He said, yeah, what is that? I said, man, I feel light and love. He said, me too. And at that time I could see. And, for those who don't know, I was born with retinitis pigmentosa. So I was always sight impaired. So at one point I could see with corrected contacts. Now it's 7% blind, 93%. I'm 7% sighted, 93% blind. So either way, but don't worry, we walk by faith, not by sight.
Come on.
He said, come on. So I looked and I beheld. That means I did like this here. And I turned around, and guess who was standing there? Imam Isa, right? Yanun, Dr. Malachi Ziyok. And he was wearing a cap, like the old school Kangos. And he had on shades similar to this. And he was standing there with his arms folded. And I looked at him, me and Azam looked, and he did like this. Niggas be like back in the old days, old school players, like that. And I was like, me and Azam looked at each other, our eyes got big like Imam Isa. And then the crowd started submerging to get into the train. And then we didn't see him no more. So we thought that was the end of that. Tell me why the next day we were at the check cash place on Camilton Road? Yeah, Camilton Road. Atlanta, Georgia. You know what that's at? Are you familiar with that? Okay.
Yeah, I'm from there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. From the SWATs. Okay, I didn't know you knew about that particular street though. You know what I'm saying? That was my stomping ground. That was your stomping ground too?
Sure.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oakland City Park, Camilton Road, Phoenician Hill.
Okay, all right. So you know that Greenbrier, that area.
Sure.
I didn't know that. So, but I'm glad to know that you can relate to it, because that's where the check cash place is at.
True.
So, of course, if you're going to be distributing books, the best place to set up at is the check cash place. You know what I'm saying? Because at least nobody can say they ain't got no money.
Got no money, go right to it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, some niggas like, I ain't got no dough right now, bro. Like, nah, nigga, I just saw you can't get check. You know what I'm saying? It was only $5, bro. You know what I mean? So, brother walk in, you know what I'm saying? And I'm standing there, and there's a brother named Abdul Mukman whose sister worked behind the counter, right? And her name was Brittany. And, so I was talking to her, and I was deciding that I wanted to flirt with her. You know what I'm saying? Which I normally don't do that. But this day, for some reason, I wanted to flirt with her. And I'm just flirting with her. And then when I'm standing there, all of a sudden, boom, that light came again. I was like, ooh, what's that? And I already knew. I said, oh shit, it's him. And I turned around, and there he was again. Just like this, with the little Kango cap on, same thing.
Yeah.
Saying, you know how the old school players be like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Biting his bottom lip a little bit.
Yeah.
Same shades.
Yeah.
And I looked this time, my eyes got big, and I ran outside. You know, I ran past him, you know what I'm saying? He goes, Sam, nigga, come on, get your shit, get all the books straight, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's in there. We're gonna wait till he come out. Because only one way into the checkout place, one way out.
Come on.
And yo, we're gonna talk to him. Because I never met him in the person at that point.
When he came out?
Yeah, we were already ethically in tune.
When did he come out?
He never came out.
Exactly.
We were waiting and waiting and waiting. I said, Sam, come on, man. We waited. I said, Sam, look back in there and see if he's still in there. And Sam looked and said, yo, he gone. And so we thought that was the end of it, right? So we thought.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So me and Azam get back home. Brother Abdul, what's his name? Abdul Mutakim from Leon Jones from Philadelphia. He gonna look at us and say, hey, yo, so this time next Saturday for the Sabbath day class, the 19 weeks classes and stuff, in Monticello, New York, in Jazza Abba.
Yep.
He says the brother Itamir, that was me,
Yep.
and the brother Azam, y'all are names on the list to go see Rabboni. At that time we knew him as Rabboni Yahshua. And we were like, cool. So we got in the van, boom, went to New York. It was freezing up there, snow. Got up there, it was a Saturday. This was March 1992. We get up there, it's a Sabbath day. Me and Azam was sitting way in the back. You know what I'm saying? So we were sitting way in the back, and there was only 2 seats remaining. And we just made it. So we sitting there, and while we were sitting there, right, you know, we just waiting, and Pops come out. And all you hear was all the women cheering, like you would have thought you was at a Prince concert. Because he came with a priest robe, he was like decked out. You know what I'm saying? And by me not being able to see that far, I found out later what he was wearing, why everybody was cheering. But the women like, ah! You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but it was a good thing. They was just like, because he was dressed so smooth, I guess that reaction just came out of them. And then Pop said, let me see who's here. Right? And so when he said, let me see who's here, right? You're me. And this is Pop. Move everything away so I'm bumping in there, right? And so Pop, he came all the way, when me and Azam sitting there like that.
Yeah.
He was strutting down there. And he came and looked at us and pulled the shades down, like he did that time when he saw me. And then he did like that. And he's almost like, I don't know if he smiled or winked, I don't know what it was, but he did like that. And then he went back to the front. And then he was teaching, and then later on in that session, he says, some of y'all have seen me in your cities and townships. He says, I can be in 1,000 places at one time. He said, but I have an unmistakable walk, right, that always give me away. He said, and it's something like this. I'm not gonna try to emulate it, but whatever it was, it was a, you know, a little stroll or whatever, and all the women were like, ah, you know what I'm saying? So, and I never seen that walk.
Come on.
So I thought that was the end of the testimony. So I thought. So last part of this testimony, you know, we was downtown 5 Points, and there was a book called "Who Is Jesus' Father?" Familiar with it? Okay. It has Angel Gabriel on it and Mary, and it says Menelidi Abi Isa, who is the father of Jesus, right? In Arabic. So there was a woman walked up. She was from Somalia, and I was trying to sell her the book, and I was speaking to her in Arabic, and then she said, "Kam, I mean, how much is it?" And I said, "Kamsadullah." You know what I'm saying? Like $5. And then she was looking at me like she was thinking about buying it. Then Pop walked up. He walked up wearing a black shirt. He had some type of, you know, I don't know what kind of hat this is. You know, like, you got dreads, right? You know how you put on a hat and the dreads, you can be like in the back like this. It's a hair thing. But you can, you know what I'm talking about? It's like
I know what you're talking about.
Like, yeah, some
like
smooth,
the Rastas be wearing?
Yeah, something like that. It was something like that. But I'm not sure if that's exactly what it was. And he had on the same gold shades. And he said, how much is the book? And I said, $5. Right? And then he says, Entariduha? Like he asked the woman, do you want it? And she said, nah. Right? Like, yes. He said, he pulled out the $5, handed me the $5. He said, give her the book. I gave her the book. And then he said, okay. And then he walked away. That same walk. Right? The walk that he did at the thing, at the event. Because I was like, well, I ain't got that part of the testimony. So he said, let me show you then. And then he did this little walk. You know what I'm saying? And then I said, wait a minute now, who are you? And he turned around, he said, I am that I am. And then he walked off. So that's just one testimony. You got the floor. know what it was. Go ahead.
Hey, look, do it. Listen, just what happened last Shadow was a testimony within itself. And I was honored to be able to share it with people. That green light, that was new. I had been aware of it. I had walked through it, but I had never seen it flash and be in the sky. So that within itself is a testimony.
Can you share for my audience too, right?
Yeah.
What happened last night, from the time you called me and told me to call you, and that type of thing, and how...
Yeah, we were on our way to... We were going to go see what was going on with the Nwaki Sabians, because they were doing this thing for the drumming ceremony for Pops. That's what they were saying. So somebody told me to go to the culture center. I go to the culture center, you know, we see the family there, and they basically... I'm asking them questions, and one of the brothers, Mel get to go on in, you know Mel. Mel Sanders.
Swimming pool.
Yeah, we get to go on in, da-da-da-da. And he like, man, I've been seeing you all in Hollywood, da-da-da-da. I said, yeah, I'm in and out of it. He said, yo, man, he said, if I was Faise one age, he said, I'd be doing the same thing. He said, that's how Imam Isa used to do, calling people name out, da-da-da-da, whoop-whoop. And we just get to talking like that, you know. And they got 2 buildings, and they say one of the brothers, or some of the brothers supposed to be out there, the next building doing the drum ceremony, da-da-da, whoop-whoop. One of the first things I checked for, too, when we got to the bookstore was, and my wife saw it, the green light, making sure it was plugged up, because one of the times I came there, it wasn't plugged up. But they had somebody had a fragrance thing that was red light on an altar that was supposed to be for Pops. And I checked that. I said, yo, what's going on with this? And they're like, well, we just do that for fragrance. I said, that shouldn't be there. And I said, well, why is the green light not on? And they were like, well, basically, they're like, I turn it on at night. Should I leave it on all the time? Leave it on. Right? But when we got there, it was on. And that red light wasn't there no more. So, yeah, long story short, we leave there. I told them, we're going to come back. And on the way back, that's when because that's when I was in the studio. You called me. I said, yo, call me back. Make sure you call me back. I told you that.
And I set the alarm.
You set the alarm.
Yeah.
So I was wrapping my engineer up saying, yo, come on, I'm about to get up. Because I'm watching the time that I told you.
Right.
And,
you had a song about 3 p.m.
Meeting with Jesus. I said Jesus. I said, I got a meeting with Jesus at 3 p.m.
Right.
I was just making a joke with them. We got here a little late, but I was like, it's 3 p.m. You understand? So, yeah, we on the way back to the culture center, and that's when you called. And I'm talking to you, and we speaking about different things, and I brought up the green light to you.
Right before we got off the phone.
Yeah. And I said, I got a question for you. Because we weren't even talking about any of that.
Right.
I said, I got a question for you. I said, it's been something I've been asking people. I asked Ibrahim this. And the most he's been able to give me, I'm not saying it wasn't anything, he gave me something. He said that sometimes when you see that green light, that means they abducted you, and then they put you back. You see what I'm saying? So he was on point to a certain degree, from my experience. So I brought it up to you. I said, yo, what's up with this the green light? Why am I seeing the green light flashes? And you were like, that's Yanun. Saying that that's Yanun with you. Yanun is saying, and interestingly enough, we saw a license plate. You know Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Tara, Emmanuel, Umi. Yeah. So we saw a license plate. The license plate was Shu. And since I was younger, my Umi said, yo, Shu is Emmanuel.
Okay.
Right? So when I saw Shu, S-H-U, literally, I said, oh, it's Emmanuel. What's Emmanuel mean?
God is with us.
Right? So I said that on the way to the thing. And then you told me that the green light meant that Yanun is with you. So I'm like, this is all Emmanuel. But what's the name of the teaching that I was listening to from Pops before we left the house? You tell me.
You asking me?
Yeah. What's the name of the teaching? With everything I just said.
Yeah, you listened to it last night?
Yeah. But before we left to go to the culture center the first time, before I got to the studio, ended that, it was El Qadir with us. Malachi Zodak. Okay. You know that teaching? Malachi Zodak, it's El Qadir with us.
Oh, yeah. That video, that tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I see.
You see?
El Qadir is with us as
Emmanuel.
As Emmanuel.
Malachi Zodak. Everything that happened was from that one.
Oh, El Qadir is with us as Malachi Zodak.
Malachi Zodak.
Okay, wow. Okay, go ahead.
You see?
I got you.
So that's all one and the same, though. Malachi Zodak is El Qadir. You know that.
Sure.
And that's the green light that I was asking you about. But something told me, made me put that teaching on before I left the house.
Right.
Right? So you give me the answer. I said, okay. And as we on our way to the house, I'm seeing lightning flashes.
Right.
Right? And it's
wait. Before you go there, what did we say to you before? Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, that happened before. This is what you was telling me, correct? Like what you're about to tell us now is what you were getting ready to tell me, and what caused me to give you an answer, correct?
No. I brought it up to you last night before all this happened.
Oh, okay. What did you say last night when you brought it up to me?
About the green flashes?
Yeah.
That I was experiencing them, and I had experienced them on 2 occasions.
Gotcha.
The first occasion was 2 flashes.
Right.
The second occasion was 1 single flash.
Gotcha.
So 3 in all.
And this was all yesterday, or just period, just in the process?
That happened within a month span.
Within a month time.
Before you called me.
So before we hung up the phone, then you brought that up, and then we gave you an answer. We said that's Yanu with you.
Yep.
And we also said something else to you.
Are y'all paying attention? Are y'all paying attention to the lingo? Because if you're not paying attention, I'm gonna put them on game. You got to watch for when it's being said we, as opposed to just saying go ahead.
Right, So when we were saying it to you last night, what did we say?
You said that means Yanun is with you, and Yanun is showing you that whatever it is that you're doing the right thing, and that he's not going to acknowledge you in the physical plane how people get acknowledged. That it'll be happening from a different standpoint, a different plane, different dimension. Right. And that's what that green light is. What are you looking for?
And then we also said to you that you're gonna, when you next time you said, what did we say is gonna happen?
There'll be witnesses.
Right.
What else? What am I missing?
And then we said it's going. Did we say about?
Oh, you said it was gonna start small and then it'll get bigger.
Right.
Okay. So after we got to the house, because we was on the way to the house first. We were on the way to the house. Even before then, you were like, "Yo, who's the sisters with you?" The sister. Oh yeah, the sisters. Who got on white? You were like, "Who got on all white?" I said, "Everybody got on." We laughing because everybody got on white, with the exception of myself. Right. I said, "Yeah, who got on white?" All the sisters got on all white. As we start telling me who the sisters were, and
what did we say about the sisters?
You said the sisters were going to be witnesses.
Right. The 3 witnesses.
Yep.
We know about the 2 witnesses.
We know about the 2. Well, there were 2 witnesses.
Right.
There were 3 people. The only 2 witnesses what happened. Why? Because the first time one person had their head down. No, first time one person was in the restroom.
Right.
And then the flash that knocked me on my back. The second time they had their head down.
Okay, so let's get into that.
Okay.
So
there were 2 witnesses.
Right. So you went to the event, and then you all decided to leave. And what happened after that?
Well, interestingly enough, you had already said 1 a.m. was going to be too late.
Right.
I started doing the calculations. What I said when I was out there, I said, I hear what? I hear gunshots. I think I told you that. I don't know if I told you. I said, I heard fireworks, gunshots. I said, I'm trying to figure out. I said, they're not fireworks. I said, it's crisp, they're loud, and it's abrupt. I said, it's not good. Let's go. And we got in the car and we left. And we're on the way to the house, and we see the lightning flashing. But whatever it is, it's like a small cloud, okay, with some type of weird X-type format or shape, and there's lightning behind it. I'm like, that's weird. That's not lightning, right? So we get out of the car. We literally got out of the car, and I started to record it. I'm like, this is something different. So we get back in the car. We get on the way to the house. We get to the house, and the sisters go inside, right? And I stay outside, and I said, okay, I'm gonna try, because every time I try to take my phone out and record it, what winds up happening is, whatever it is, stop. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we all just gonna let me show them. I know we gotta vet people and test people, but when can we just show them?
Right.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show.
Just pop out and show niggas. How you know that? I know this song. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta pop out and I say, okay, let me see what happens. I go live. I point the camera at the lightning. Right? It appears that it's coming closer to the house.
Right.
Right? It went from being by the horizon to being right above me. So I'm showing people, and I told them when we get on the live, I said, watch, they're gonna let y'all see. I said, just keep watching. And then the lightning went from just being the blue and the blue and the white and the pink, there was green. The first flash hit me. And I said, see, I told y'all. I said, they're gonna show you. Then it hit me again. Either the second or the third time, I fell. And I yelled. And then the sisters came out. The first they come out because they're trying to see why I'm yelling. But I'm on my back, and I'm still holding the camera. And I lifted the camera back up to point. I said, I told y'all, it's the green light. It's the green light. I started hyperventilating.
Did they see the green light?
Some people say they did. This is the interesting part.
Okay.
Some people, I know I saw it. I'm not even debating it.
Right.
I saw it a bunch of times. And I kept saying, can you see the green light? I said, only we can see the green light. Right? So some people said, I saw it. I see it. Because they were literally telling me the next day.
Okay.
Other people said they didn't see it. The 3 that were out there with me didn't see it. And it's flashing back. It's over and over again. And I'm saying, listen, it's right above me. I'm literally pointing. I said, it's right there. I said, if they just move the clouds, you will see what I can see. It's right on the other side of the clouds. Right? But they never moved the clouds. There was an outline of what appeared to be some type of circular disc. A ship. It was huge. Right. And then there was some lattice-looking stuff behind it. You could see it, especially every time the lightning flashes. You could imagine that the shapes was some type of, you can imagine a picnic table, kind of checkerboard, It was weird. But all of this on camera. So the light kept flashing green, and then the wind picked up. And when the wind picked up, there's a ladder that we use to make a basketball goal out of. In one of the first gathering that I told you about. So the wind knocked that over. And then I was like, we need to go inside. Right? Now, the whole time I'm telling them we need to go inside, nothing was telling me to go inside. It was telling them to go inside.
Right.
So I get up, I end the live. That's where the live ended for those people who were watching.
Oh, y'all was live.
I was live.
Word of life. I feel it.
I told you I was recording. I was going to show them.
On this very platform you're on now.
Yep.
We're on. Okay,
yep.
Cool.
And it's like,
and there were people typing say, yo, I see that joint.
It's like you try to record something.
Right.
And you know you catching the action.
Yeah.
And then you go back and look at the footage.
It's not there.
You record it yourself.
Right.
That's you ever had like the camera you flipping it, it's like it's the wrong way.
Okay.
Or you were taking a picture the whole time.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Okay.
So I go back and somebody from screen recorder, I said, okay, I know I'm gonna be able to show and take this snippet and show the world that I showed the world. It wasn't nothing but blue lightning. They didn't see it. Because I looked at and I saw what they saw. They didn't see the light. They can't see the light. You have to be there. They have to place.
So who are the beings that actually saw it?
There were a few people who they walked with us, the perimeter.
You mean like our people here now?
These three have seen it.
Okay.
Though
can we get a yes from them, like for the sake of my audience?
Okay.
What do you mind? Like, what did you all see?
Okay.
Do you mind?
I don't mind.
Okay, cool.
All three of them have seen the light.
What did y'all see? Just affirmatively speaking, did y'all see it?
Two.
Okay. So can you briefly explain, please, what you saw?
The first green light, it was a flash. That was when the power went out. And that was when Omar was standing at the door. And that's when he fell. Then the second time I opened the door and was standing in the doorway. And it wasn't a flash. It was a glow. And it held it for a couple of seconds. And then it went away. And it had a feeling to it. Like it was
pulsating.
So you was in tune with the pulsation. And this was last night, correct? Okay.
That happened actually I know I'm not trying. Yeah, it was after 12 a.m.
It was after midnight. Praise. Ooh, get us. Because he was born Tuesday.
Come on.
June 26th at midnight.
Come on.
1945, June 26, 1945 AD. And the night he was born, the exact same thing happened. Right? Okay. Clouds and the whole nine. The green lights. Okay, go ahead. I'm with you. Anybody else?
When I first went outside, I didn't see the green lights. I could hear Faise saying, "It's so green. Do y'all see the green?" I'm like, I don't see the green. And I didn't want to bear false witness, so I was just sitting there with him. I didn't say anything. And then we got inside. Well, for me, it was purple and blue. Then we got inside, and I saw the green for the first time, and that's when he was standing in the doorway, and he fell, and the power went out.
Wow.
And then he was still on the ground when the second one came, and that's the one that held it for a few seconds. And he fell again, but he was already on the ground, so he fell backwards on the ground.
Y'all Johnny?
He was pushed backwards. And that's when I saw it for the second time. And then after that, when I was standing in the doorway, I was able to see the green where it was originally purple and blue for me.
Wow. Okay. So y'all see we got witnesses. Anybody else?
Well, my experience was completely different. I was the one that was in the bathroom and had their head down. But prior to that, probably at the beginning of June, I got my experience, and it wasn't just green light, it was green lightning that struck like horizontally across the sky. And after that, I remember saying, "I bear witness," and then they started telling me to do stuff. And that was just that was a big night. But yeah, last shadow, I didn't see the green flashes. I did see purple. I did see blue. I did see pink. I saw white, like literally everything else but green. And with the pulsations, I felt them. And then I saw like echoes. But this was all after. Before noon or before midnight, I didn't see no green at all. But after midnight, the harder I looked, I was like, I really want to see this. They would show me like echoes. So the same way that how Omar was pointing at the sky, he was like, "It's green, it's green." all I saw was purple. But then after the purple, it would be like green on the outside.
Ain't that interesting?
Yeah.
They're saying purple.
Yeah.
You know that.
I know so.
Because, yeah, I'm seeing green, but they're seeing purple. You see?
Mm-hmm.
What happened when I was holding you or hugging you in the living room? What about that? What happened then? And what did I say?
I don't remember what you said, but I remember we were hugging and you leaned back, said something, and then the power, it didn't just straight go out. It flickered, but it like hard flickered, like ooh, 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 and then it died.
Mm-hmm. I said, it's time. You can feel it in the air.
Yeah.
And then it went out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I this part, my homie was on the phone. She was like, where you think you going? She called me because she saw the live. And people were telling her. And she called me. She's like, where do you think you going? I said, Umi, they right above my house. I said, I can go.
Umi for my audience means mother.
Yeah. She said, where you think you're going though? It's not time for you to go. Mm-hmm. I said, but they right above my house. I'm looking out, and she said, I know they there. She said, but you ain't. How you gonna leave right now? Right? So we get to talking after I got knocked on my back and everything. I said, Umi, the vortex is right above me and it's open. She said, but is this your last vortex? I said, no. She said, okay, well then you don't gotta go right now. And I was also trying to explain to her that even if I left, I said, Umi, I'll be able to come right back. The world will be able to see me go and come back. I told my Umi when I was younger that I had a dream that 2 stones had to be turned before this all played out.
That's right.
The first stone, not in any order, was called the soul stone, meaning I leave. The second stone is called the whole world knows who I am. The whole world knows me. This is back when I was like 14, 15. And to this day, I don't know which order is going to happen first. But I told my Umi, I'm going to be the one who's going to be able to show. I'm going to be able to show it. You know what I'm saying? These people out here, what? Remember when you did the Wise Phase 1 here?
Yeah.
When I'm checking in with people, niggas think they don't got to check in. No, I'm checking in with people because who goes there? You stepping into something you don't know anything about. Right? We have Reformer. We have Redeemer. You ever heard Enforcer?
That's the song you did.
No.
Enforcer?
No, should I do it? I thought I was being poetic. No, I'm saying. Basically, I was saying you got different roles, right? You got the Magenta, you got the Reformer.
Oh, yeah, the Enforcer.
Okay,
Gotcha.
You hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
So, why is Phase 1 here?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, regardless of who they want to claim and all this other stuff, we're going to be able to show it.
I got you.
And what protects me on this walk is I ain't bumped my head. Because, you remember this? New Year's 2021. We were at your house. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And remember they said, somebody, one of my brothers said, Omari still be mentioning Malachi York on his page. Omari still, and then all my siblings was saying what? Yeah, that's right. I saw that same thing. I was saying that's crazy. And you remember what I said when they said that?
No, tell us.
I said, because I ain't no Peter.
Right.
And remember you was like, ooh, I felt that. Right? And they went on about their day after that, and everybody went and got their plates. And when I was leaving out the room, you was like, Omari, you were like, I seen you, man. Like, you got the spirit of Yeshua on you. Right? He said, I can see it now, that one day you're going to be able to destroy the illusion. And everybody going to like, yay! But we in that day. We in that day. Because I don't come in, all right, howbeit the spirit of truth. You hear me? Howbeit the spirit of truth, because you have Asa coming and they listen, did they really hear? And now they're in this new test and they don't really understand this new test. You with me? Yeah. They don't even know what this new test meant. You hear me? And then Asa steps away from the scene. Now he's in the unseen. Yeah. Right? There's been a lot of conversation about that. Is Dr. Malachi York really incarcerated? And and everybody thinks they know what something is, and he'll tell you to watch a movie. Or he'll bring the illusionists to the land. All this sacred stuff that's been happening, this secret stuff, this best kept sacred test that's been occurring. And I popped up out of nowhere, literally, 1998. And I'm the youngest out of all these people been running around, running their mouth, not blood related to any of that, to Malachi. So they have to bear witness because I didn't walk with him physically. But you did, so yes, I did. They have to bear witness because I wasn't in the class physically being able to telepathically communicate and get answers for my questions. But my Umi did, so yes, I did. They have to bear witness because who is Omari? Who is phase one? They're not even wise enough to do their due diligence to study my parents. You understand? Or my appearance. Mm-hmm. You with me?
Yes, sir.
Let alone what's behind what they see or the unseen. Then I walk into their temples and they don't understand why when I say move that, put that there, they do it. Or I walk into their temples and I raise my hand, I ask a question. They don't understand why. Remember the triad, right? When some people remember, if you weren't able to answer the question, it's supposed to be another brother step in and answer that question. And if that brother couldn't answer that question, that brother stepped in. If the three of them couldn't answer it, that the triad got broken. And somebody else who came in after that, Malachi. Right? So I'm asking them a question, they can't answer. Oh yeah? All right, tell me about that. The vortex is opening and woo. Oh, where are the pickup zones? Oh, Malachi got to tell us. He already told y'all that. If you were a student, first of all, you should be able to at least name one of them. One of the entrances, something. Rock, Eagle Mound, something. He already told you pickup zone. And not only that, we're leaving in a month and we're in this class listening to you talk. And your update is about how Jesus is 888 and oxygen and the hippocampus part of the brain is the pale horse. I say, okay, so the hippocampus part of the brain is the pale horse or the white horse in Revelation. What are the pale horse, the black horse, and the red horse in the brain? Didn't know. Mm-hmm. You want to know what he tried to do?
What's that?
He asked me a question. Mm-hmm. That was fun. He said, I said, because he was talking about the visitor. I said, how you know I'm not a visitor? He said, visitors can answer certain questions. What direction do the pyramids go in? I said, they're inverted. I said, how is that a question? The bigger question is, can't Marduk clone himself?
Right, that part.
I could be 1,000 places at one time.
Come on with that, right there. Yeah,
right?
I need that.
It's something like that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
it's right there.
Yeah, come on.
All that.
Come on.
Can't Marduk clone himself?
Yes, sir. Come
right?
on. Come
okay. On. To defeat Halel, he had to do that, right?
Shit, I don't see it.
Okay, are you listening? So
yes,
I said, have you ever seen me in your temple? And they said, no. I said, why am I here now then? That's when I told him I would love to bring people to Wusabat, but y'all got to clean it up. It's too dirty in here.
That's right.
You want to know who was in there and I didn't know she was in there?
Who?
Waki. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know she was in there.
Right.
And she listened. First she was like, because I said, I'm not bringing nobody here. It's dirty. She said, well, that's selfish. You got right knowledge. Why wouldn't you bring people to right knowledge? I said, I never said I wouldn't bring them to right knowledge. I'll bring them to Malachi because there's no dissension amongst himself. You want to know what she ended up saying in the end of that conversation?
What's that?
His brother is right. He's right. And she said, you want to know what else? I love your family. I know your family. I love your family. Right?
Yeah.
So it goes a lot deeper than what they think. My point here is, no matter what they want to play.
For the record, we love her too.
Okay, cool. And I've never heard any of the family have an issue with Waki.
Right.
Right? So no matter what they want to play, we want to show. You say you this, come forth. I'm not. The whole conscious community runs when I do that.
Yeah, come on.
I say, let's go master for master. Let's play. Bring me any of your people that say they're this degree, this elder, this, and let's put them all together at once and talk to me. If you want to. You see what I'm saying? And they all run. Why? Because you can't. They don't hate me. They hate the man I represent. Mm. And what's so easy about my role is I don't even have to be the master teacher. I just have to say, that's the master teacher. And then, if you want to play, well then, all right, let's bring out the Quran. Let's bring out the Bible. Let's bring out these scrolls. Let's talk religion. Let's talk politics. What do you want to do? And I will drill your head into the wall. And then tell you, after I'm done, say, and that wasn't nothing. You understand? I'm just one of the sons.
That's right.
Okay, meaning I'm not the general. Y'all have a problem with the general on a mission that has nothing to do with you, meaning you can only be opposition. That's why you get handled that way. So now it's all out in the open. June 26th, a meteorite comes into your atmosphere. Right after green light, lightning shower takes place. Whoever saw it, saw it. I'll let you see it by going live. Okay, you don't have to use me as the vessel. Just look at it for what it is. If you were in the right place at the right time, you saw it. All right? Once you figured out right knowledge, what? Wrong can't get you. Once you know these people are fraudulent, now all you have room for is the truth. I'm telling you, the true light, Dr. Malachi York, is real. And I'm challenging each and every living soul on this planet at once to prove me wrong. And all the while, when you're trying to gather your resources to do that, I want you to take account for it and bear witness to every time. Remember, Pop said, how right does a man have to be before you acknowledge the divinity in him?
That's right.
Come on.
Come on.
So I bear witness to Dr. Malachi York. This ain't just his birthday. This is a point in time that will never be forgotten. This day will be remembered for centuries.
Come on.
Mark my words.
Ooh, Jesus. Say it.
This day will be remembered.
Yes, sir. Come on.
And all I'm asking is anybody that can refute it, tell them, come on. And watch anything they try to do. Remember I told you, I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to pass it to you. Only way you can defeat phase one is how? How can they defeat me?
Green light.
The green light. Go ahead. The only way you can defeat me is use the green light. And then your dumb ass going to pick up the green light and realize you're helping me. So how can you defeat me?
Right.
Then you're trying to catch me. You're trying to look at me. You're trying to point me out. Capture that green light. Trap it. No offense. I don't want to hear no free Bobby Yanun. Yanun cannot be incarcerated. It is not possible to incarcerate Yanun here. You don't have the technology, the know-how, the biology, the time. You're 76 trillion years behind. They can't. They know that. Your governments know that. When they gonna mention about the meteorite? When the president gonna stop and say something's going on that's strange? Come on. When the president gonna be like, we just saw something on our telescopes. We don't know what that is, but we're gonna distract you and say that these two people that's been fighting since 1940, we're gonna distract you and say this is new. Even though what's really happening is they're seeing stuff move through with structures they're not familiar with. They don't even have documentation on it. Those are real unknowns, and it's happening right now. So somebody tell me, what was that meteorite? And what meteorite comes through and makes thunder and earthquake sound?
Woo! Jesus, come on with it.
Y'all let me know. I'll wait.
Teach.
Did I predict the green light? That's what I told him. I gave him the secret of the prophets. I'm not calling myself when I don't need to be called that. I told him, I said, but look, let's say you on a craft and you got control over certain things, fundamental, like elementary things. If I say we need rain, I don't gotta dance, you just press a button. So I'll take people outside and say, and watch, in 15 seconds it's gonna rain. And then it rains because you press the button. You heard me say that. I was like, push that button, that's one of ours.
That's right now.
So you press the button and it rains.
That's right. Come on.
And I take you further and I say, now watch this. This is going to happen from this direction. Look in the sky. These crafts are going to come and they're going to blink a light. And then you say, oh, that's one of ours. Go do it now. Go blink the light. Right? I say, okay, on this day, a train is going to derail. Right? And you say, oh, that's one of ours. You push the train off the track. Right? The prophets can't get it wrong. Only the false prophets get it wrong.
That's right.
The prophets, we don't get it wrong. We don't need to keep saying, give us another time, we'll try to get it right the next time. We don't need to do that. Because we'll say it in the unseen ones that pulled. I told y'all the show ain't over. I did my show June 20th. Interestingly enough, the Elio movie came out June 20th. And somebody go check because I think Amaretta dropped the video on June 26th.
Yeah.
Right? If not June 26th, he dropped it on June 25th.
Yes, it is.
Right? Was it yesterday? Okay, today's 26th.
Yeah.
She dropped it yesterday, right? Leading up to the 26th, right? All this, and then Amaretta, I don't know, you know Amaretta, but Amaretta, I did a music video for her. Her actual name is Amaria. My name is Omari. I said, that's my sister. She don't know that yet.
Right.
She did a video. Her birthday is June 20th. I hit her management up, said, yo, let's do a video for Amaretta. I didn't even know her birthday was June 20th until a few days before the video dropped. You understand what I'm explaining to you?
Yeah.
So June 20th kept popping up, even down to the Elio movie I told you about, where the brother was dressed in green and they picked him up with green light and all of that.
Ooh.
That came out June 20th.
Ooh.
June 20th was the solstice. All right? Less than a week from now, here we are on Malachi York's birthday. And they said there's going to be a heat wave from June 20th to June 27th.
Right.
You with me?
Yes, sir.
I told everybody, keep your eyes on that sun. Keep your eyes on them skies. Watch. When they say look down, you look up. If they say look left, you run right. You understand that? You got that. It's on you.
I'm enjoying myself right now.
I hear you. I hear you. Hey, listen, I'm here to bear witness.
Yeah.
It's an easy job. Don't try to act like you him.
Yeah.
Be who you are. That's how you know know. You'll be able to do your job. There's only one Melchizedek.
That's right.
We had a brother come on here and say, I am the Melchizedek. That was fun.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
He said,
you had a good time with that one.
I had a great time with that one. He said, I'm Melchizedek. And he had a few little followers around him. I'm working on a book called Psychological Shapeshifting, where I speak about when you start listening to somebody's doctrine or taking, you become them. You know, you literally start transforming, walking like them, talking like them, all of that. Physically, phenotypically, there will be alterations based off of whatever your mannerisms are and all of that. So he had some people that looked like him, and they started kind of looking weird like him, and they got the roster kind of feel. They Haile Selassie followers. So, you know, they own some King David, throne of David, all of that. So the brother said, I am Melchizedek, right? I can prove I'm Melchizedek. He said, I can trap the devil with 6 points of truth, right? So while you doing it, I asked him a question. I said, okay, name those 6 points. And while you doing that, I typed in, let's trap the devil, and showed him where you got it from.
Ooh.
Right? And then I said, prove it. If you didn't get it from him, tell me the 6 points of truth. He said, you got truth. I'm not lying. He said, you got truth. I said, that's one of them. That's the umbrella. I thought that was the umbrella. Okay, that's 1 point. Give me the other 5. Well, it's going to take some time. There's only 5. It shouldn't take no time. Just explain to me what the 5 points are. Then when we get on, most recently, that was a few years ago. Most recently, he got on about a month ago. And his followers got on with me. And they cuss in and say, oh, I don't know who it is. This is our Lord. Da-da-da-da, whoop. And apparently their Lord was across the yard from them in another trailer. So they said, I'm about to take you to my Lord. So they come bring me the phone. They bring me on the phone to him. They say, yo, I got Phase 1 on there. Because he been cussing me out all that on the internet and all that. I got Phase 1 on here. Yeah, here go my Lord. Talk to the Lord. Then they get on the camera. What he say? I bow to all the prophets. He said, I bow to all the prophets. He said, I know who you are, Phase 1. They called me Isaiah. He said, I know who you are, Phase 1. You one of the prophets. Da-da-da-da, woo-da-woo. I said, how about you tell your little mans that don't seem to understand decorum, all right, of who they in the presence with. How about you tell them that what you exhibiting out online coming of what you supposed to be.
You still good?
Yeah, I had to shift my battery.
Okay.
I said, how about you tell them that ain't how you do it?
Right.
The nigga on live did what I told him to do. He claims he's Jah. He's God. He's Melchizedek. He did what I said do. He said, all my seed don't attack Phase 1. We don't attack Phase 1. We love Phase 1. And I'm going to apologize for saying this and that about him. Da, 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 da. He said, man, I wish I could see your eyes. Let her cut out of my shades. He said, man, I wish I could see your eyes. So you want to know what I did?
What?
Before I took off my shades, I asked him a question. I said, you say you're a prophet? He said, yeah. I said, make a prophecy right now. He said, okay, I'll make a prophecy. He said, when we get off this live, 1,000 niggas going to come and tell me that was some real shit. I said, no, make an actual prophecy. He said, okay, I'm going to make a prophecy. That's how I knew he was. Right then and there, you should have seen it. Once you make a prophecy, you say you're a prophet, ain't no retracting it because somebody said there ain't a prophecy. Right. You going to tell them, nigga, you going to wait to see what I said come to fruition. You going to see it. Matter of fact, the prophecy, I'm going to tell you a prophecy about your life since you want to play games. You see what I'm saying? No, he said, okay, I'm going to tell you a real prophecy. A real prophecy is there's going to be a shift in understanding about the Lord. And before, because I told him before the end of this month, he said there'll be a shift in understanding, Phase 1. Even I said, what's the shift in understanding? Explain it. Where? When is it going to happen? Make a prophecy. Don't just say all this vague stuff. You understand? And at the end of it, literally, after I asked him that, he talked to running his mouth, talking about slave ships and all that. I took my shades off. I looked right in his eyes. You want to know what he did?
What?
5 seconds later,
What?
he got off. He got off. Everything's recorded. He got off the line. He said, I see you, Phase 1. I know you're Isaiah. And got off. He left. No, you didn't want me to show my eyes. Because you don't know who you're looking at.
That's right.
You see? So the beautiful thing is, it's like you can feel problems. Because he letting it happen to him. He used to do that. He'll let the sons go and tear the nigga ass up. He'll let them tell you, and then he'll say, you I don't know if you don't know who sent you to me. Right? You might want to go and deal with my son because you're not ready for this right hook I got. I don't know who set you up. He said, probably that guy over there grinning in the corner. He said, but you're not ready for me. So when they going to bear witness? One person shouldn't be able to trample a whole conscious community full of people.
That's right.
Not one person. No. Not they say I'm an agent. Okay, here's my whole thing. I'm not going to debate that I'm an agent. Let's say I'm an agent. Why are you not handling me like I'm an agent?
That's right.
If I'm an agent and I'm sending to your community, it shouldn't be easy for one of us to come in and mess y'all up. especially not somebody calling themselves spiritual and advanced, an ascended master. Not no one agent should be coming in and shifting and dividing y'all. How about y'all, when this one agent calls you out, how about you step up to the plate? Instead of saying he's not worthy to be responded to. Meanwhile, everything he does makes millions of views, headlines, and all of that. You know you can't avoid it. But y'all respond to somebody that got 10 followers and do 100 views on the video. But when it comes to Omari, he'll make a video about you, get 1 million views, and you gonna act like you didn't see it because I'm causing division and negativity. No, step forth, because when it was Dr. Malachi York, y'all ran his name through the bud. You didn't want to bear witness. You did all this stuff. No, now we're flipping it and saying, okay, let's prove what you're saying. Let me prove what I'm saying. Everybody come to the table. Everybody. No matter who you are, let's put all our cards on the table. Let's see what happens. What do you think happened? They weren't able to prove it. That's why I say this is the best day in history. They're out of time. We've given them all the time. And now I say, look at the signs. There go my sign right there. There go my sign right there. Look, here go my sign right here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's play. Well, Elijah, if that's really your God, let's see if you can make the fire come down out of the sky and burn his wood up. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it interesting for you. I'm going to pour some water on mine. You can't deny it then. Because water I shouldn't be able to light it up, let alone some fire coming out from God out of heaven.
That's right.
And it's still lit up. You see? You got it.
I'm still listening. I need some water though. Can one of the staff members give me some water, please? It's in the refrigerator. It's extremely cold.
It's the sisters. You said the staff members.
Staff members, sisters, my bad. Sister, you want to say sister? Okay, I say sister. Because I'm thinking in terms of nation.
Of business and structure, I understand.
And really just everything that Yanun spoken to us. And I'm watching, it took a long enough. How long has it been? 23 years? I'm watching what he spoke, even what Uncle Bunny said. I'm watching it happen now. So at this moment, I'm thinking, thank you, Tawad. I'm thinking about our nation. I'm listening to you. I'm understanding what's happening. And I'm humbled and grateful. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're addressing it in a professional setting as staff. We know they're your sisters and everything like that, but this is our staff, or more so our administration. Because what Yanun is doing right now is he putting the nation, beloved, in our hands. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to ask anybody about the legal team no more. You don't have to ask anybody about, can we do this no more. The nation is now placed in our hands, son. And it's our responsibility now, you know what I mean, to rebuild it. It's been 23 years, and the rebuilding is right now, right here. You see what I'm saying? Okay? Because there was a little bit more that happened on yesterday.
What was it?
We did a live stream yesterday, and it was so forceful, my wife deleted it. But we have brothers that recorded the audio. One of the brothers I was talking to that I wanted to invite, he recorded the audio. My wife got a little nervous because at the end, right, Yanun walked, he, how can we say, he incarnated through us. And when he started speaking in us, from our perspective as his son, we began to let this government know. We let the world know. First of all, you know me, I love Trump. I always show nothing but love and reverence for Donald J. Trump. And what we said yesterday is, my father better be out by midnight tonight, which was yesterday. And if my father's not out by midnight tonight, meaning 12 o'clock, you get what I mean? June 26, 12 o'clock, which was 13 hours from now. And I'm not saying it the way I was saying it. Because every now and then, we talk with love, we talk with humility, but you know us, sometimes the worrying that R19 frequency will come out. Revelation chapter 19, right? We said we're going to wage war with the rulers of this earth. And yesterday, before you left the message, we said, if he's not out by midnight, we're going to show you something tonight. And I said, and when we get started, we're not going to stop. I said, it's going to happen for sure. And everybody who's watching us tonight is going to bear witness what we do tomorrow, which is today, June 26th. And I said, y'all are not going to know where it's coming from.
Come on.
But we're going to hit, and we're going to keep hitting. And we're not going to stop until Yanun, right? We know he cannot be trapped. But that man, that physical vessel, which is not much use to us, a piece of mud, but we used it anyway. That being Dr. Malachi New York, he better be exonerated. And he better be exonerated by June 26, 2025 AD. I said, Trump, I love you. You know me. You know me. You know what I'm saying? I said, but if Yanu or Dr. Malachi New York is the innocent victim of your government, sir, if he's not released, I said, I'm going to tell you who's doing it. We are doing it. But I really said at that point, because Yannin said, when you overstand we, you can now say I. I was just letting them know, you're going to be seeing some things, and I'm telling you who's doing it. And it's going to start immediately at midnight. And I said, the likes of which none of you will be able to deny. And I said, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. I said, unless you release them. Now they say, the federal government said today that they're about to release 10 prisoners. And I responded to them. I said, I thought so. Because they said they're about to release 10 federal prisoners today, June 26th. And I ain't talking about no puppy, because they're trying to use some universal principle that we never approved. We never approved the scapegoat stuff. You know what I mean? We never approved, oh, you're going to let the guilty go and keep the innocent, like free Barabbas, like we said, and keep Yahshua type. You know what I mean? Okay, so we said all that, and now the results are happening. Because it's not I that do it, it's we and us. But we had to identify for the sake of letting Trump know. Because it's you know how Moses said, Pharaoh, let my people go? You know what I'm saying? And so we was talking directly to him because I love him. And I'm like, yo, bro, you're going to have to exonerate him. If you don't, y'all are going to be dealing with, and it's just, what they saw today with the, what was it again? The meteorites? Where did they see it at? It was in Georgia. Where else?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. That's us. We're doing that. You see how I'm doing it now? We're doing that. And I said, that's just the beginning. And for everybody that brought witness on our live stream last night, my wife got mad. She said, this is dangerous. She deleted like, wow. But the brother called me and said, I got the copy. I got the audio. So we got the audio. You know what I mean? So we're going to put that back out so everybody, and because it wasn't me, beloved. It was a spirit that I normally don't speak in. I cannot even emulate how we were talking. Because I can't, because it wasn't me. Because the brother said, you know what I'm trying to say? Like the whole features and everything changed. Because I, my own accord, wouldn't normally say nothing like that. It's frightened my wife. Because she would think, oh, they're going to come for you. Till she deleted it. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can come for us. I tell you what, we're going to be giving them more than handle. So now that they made the announcement immediately this morning, they said, okay, we're about to release 10. Okay, fine. I want them released, and I mean it today. If not, wait till you see what we do next. So I told my wife, get out. I want you out of Georgia. You follow? I didn't know you was going to be here. Because I told my wife yesterday, I said, baby, I'm about to rock the fucking house. Excuse my French. I said, I don't want you nowhere near me while we're doing this. I got such and such here for a reason. You see what I'm saying? But you need to be out this house because we're about, remember I was telling you last night before you went to the event? I said, your dad's about to do the, you know what I'm saying? And I said, but I'm telling them though. I'm not, you get what I'm trying to say?
I'm already knowing.
So that's what happened. So that's just the first step. We're going to see. They can't just bullshit us and say they're releasing him. Because now we got their attention, so they don't want to say, oh, we're going to release. No more games. No more, oh, you're going to jeopardize the case. All the people, ops and everybody like that. Listen, you said something a minute ago. I can't even believe you said it, bro. Right? You were talking about having something in your hand. Right? And doing this with the weather, doing that with the weather. That's the level. And I was telling certain people, I was like,
what did I say?
You was like, okay, if the weather is this, you press a button for this and press a button for that. Okay. Need we say more? We ain't gonna say nothing else.
You don't have to.
Okay, so
all you gotta say is when things occur, just bear witness and you're looking at works of God. You can't pin acts of God on man. I'm gonna say that 2 more times. You can't pin acts of God on man. You can't pin acts of God on man. You with me? So what you bearing witness to and what you will be bearing witness to, you know, I don't need your credit. It's gonna be too much going on for you to credit me.
I'm gonna tell you this too. We're gonna be doing so much that they're not gonna be able to handle what we do.
Come on.
So right now we're waiting for the good news. Now I can tell you this, phase 1. We received a phone call from a certain man of God. He says we're about to get some good legal news.
Come on.
Okay, well then that's what we're waiting on. But it has to happen today. And if it don't happen today, Okay, well then watch what we do next. But I believe it's going to happen today. Because we still, now we're in the phase of, okay, where's the phone call? We should be receiving a phone call any minute now, confirming the exoneration of the victim, Dr. Malachi York. The victim. He was a victim of the U.S. conspiracy to destroy his life, destroy his name, destroy his children, destroy his legacy. The first thing that Donald Trump should have done was arrest George W. Bush. That was the first thing he should have did. And we told Donald Trump this. Had he arrested George W. Bush, then he would have shown that he's not just loyal to a failing system. You know what I'm saying? You can't say America first without justice. We have to establish justice. And so that's what we were saying yesterday. So there you have it.
Let's hear another miracle, man. Tell about this Yanu man. Give me another miracle. What's another miracle he did?
You want to know another miracle?
Do it.
Go to Malachi chapter 4.
All right.
Read the 5th verse. And let's see about that miracle.
What's the Bible? I don't got mine.
Anybody got a Bible? Anybody got their Bible?
Read the 5th verse.
Yeah.
I got the Quran. I don't have the Bible. Malachi 4:5.
Malachi chapter 4, verse 5.
Then the devil took him to the holy city.
Malachi.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, you might gotta come a little closer, Jay.
I think you're in Matthew's.
Malachi.
Yeah.
Do it.
Chapter 4, verse 5.
Do it.
See, I will send the prophet Elijah to you before that great and dreadful day of the Lord comes. He will turn the hearts of the parents to their children and the hearts of the children to their parents.
Yeah.
Give me a
Or
hug.
else I will come and strike the land with total destruction.
There you go. It's happening. That's the miracle right there.
Yeah.
Turning the hearts of the parents to their children
Right.
and the children to their parents.
Right.
So many of us as Milwaukeeans don't even keep in contact with our parents.
Right.
And so now, this is a miracle by itself. That's the miracle. And what book is that in? Malachi.
Yeah.
This is a miracle. Where the Father is honoring the Son, and the Son is honoring the Father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have to yield and say, okay, what you think, son? What you say?
Yeah.
And you have to say, yeah, I have to hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
understand what you're saying. But where we love each other enough, love is a miracle. Because the Amorites did everything they could to split us up and break us up.
True.
And keep fathers, unless it's Shador Sanders and Deion Sanders, unless it's, in the beast system, unless we're on the basketball court, unless we're doing something to maintain this wicked power system. Now we're about to destroy it. You know what I mean? That's a miracle. The fact that you're here right now, and I'm here with you, and we have agreed about to rebuild our, the Spanish, when the Chinese speak, remember that Pop was like, as a nation we need our own language, right?
Yep.
So he gave us a language.
Yep.
And now what we're doing, sir, you with me? You want another testimony? 1993, we was on the land, right?
Come on.
We were sitting in the pavilion. And while we were sitting in the pavilion on the land, right, with the master,
Yep.
he looked at your dad,
Yep.
and he says, I see you looking at me.
Yep.
He said, you are in awe of me. He said, but what you don't know is that greater works than these shall you do. And he walked past me, and I said telepathically, no way. I said, nobody can do a greater work than you. And he stopped. I said it in my mind. And he stopped, looked at me, and shook his head. We have to do a greater work. You understand what I'm saying? You get with that?
Yep.
We are the nation. I was trying to explain this to people. We're here. We're in the flesh. We ain't all in the stars. Right? That car you got, we should have our own car. We should have, Elon, you're smarter than Elon Musk. So the vehicle that I want to drive is a Phase 1 car. Get where I'm going? And so now we studied how to invent our own vehicles. You get what I'm saying? So we have to, get what I mean? We have to have our own cars, our own planes, our own money, our own everything. So we have to totally destroy the beast. But when we say that, everybody thought we were talking about nuclear. All that. No, we have to make them obsolete. Question for you. What is currency? What is currency? Currency is something that has a current, right? Does the US dollar have an actual current? Yes or no?
No.
Does the Japanese yen have an actual current?
No.
Right. Name another one. The peso. Does it have an actual current?
No.
But we have an actual current. It's called a NAND.
Yeah.
And you want to know how it works?
How it works?
Since you're here, I'm going to tell it because I was talking to some brothers. I was so disappointed, right, that people who I thought would be on our level by now are not, right, when it comes to nation building. So I said to the brother, we have a handheld. Can you hand me that phone?
Your phone is recording.
Oh, it's that? No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What your father has done, what the elders have helped us to do, and we share it with you, if we have just successfully reverse engineered, now I don't want to give you like that. How about this? We now are able to use nanotechnology that Yanun gave us to power data systems. We can power the whole data system. You talking about computers and everything you can think of. This house, we have a handheld device that can power this entire house with NAND current. So when you sign your WUNAB, it's really called the WUSABAT. The WUSABAT financial system, when you get your account, we started sending it out, and everybody that signs in, you immediately get 1 million NAND, which represents the thing that you have in your hand. So you say, okay, let's say, name a merchant. I'm just asking you. Name a merchant. Name something that everybody needs. Like anything. Just something that if you had some money, you have to buy it. What would you say?
Oil.
Oil, okay. Well, some people got cars without oils, right?
Yeah.
But let's just use oil, all right? So name an oil manufacturer.
JP Morgan Chase.
JP Morgan Chase, they do oil?
I think they do. I think they took over all the oil rigs.
They take over all the oil rigs?
Yeah.
Okay, well they need to have electricity in order to power their oil rigs, right?
Yeah.
And they have to pay the electrician.
Yeah.
So we send Leon, I'm just using an example, as an ambassador, right? And we go to JP Morgan,
Yeah.
and you say, how much are y'all spending a year on electricity?
Yeah.
Billions.
Yeah.
Right? We have the technology that if you all accept our currency, we're not going to give you the formula, but we will power your systems with our NAND, and you don't have to pay us nothing. All you got to do is accept our currency. So now every Nuwapian around the world can now get whatever that merchant offers, and we don't have to use dollars, we can use our NAND. The same with Georgia Power, we can put them out of business, right? Turn all the breakers off in your house, and we will power your system if you are a business, as long as you accept our currency. Because it has a real current. And then we say the dollar is a fraud. It's illegal. You cannot call this a currency if it don't produce a current. What is that? Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 7.
Come on.
Can anybody read that real quick?
What is it? Ezekiel 28?
Come on. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 7. This is how Yanun was grooming us on this, you feel me?
Sure.
Like, yeah, you got all of them figured out. I got a question for you too about the Hebrew Israelites.
Come on.
Because I'm going to ask you about them.
Come on.
But I want to get this in, and we're going to give the floor back to you.
Let's play it.
I am going to bring foreigners against you, the most ruthless.
Can you read the KJV?
KJV.
Yes, ma'am. What you think so far, though, son, about the banking system? Do you see what we're saying now?
I think it has a beautiful foundation.
Thank you.
To it.
Thank you, son. I appreciate that.
To it.
Okay. If you pull it up, the KJV, and y'all are here. This is one of the scriptures that always shows us as the answer. The seed that he put inside of us. You might have to type in KJV.
Behold, for I will bring strangers upon you, the terrible of the nations.
Mouths against the beast, against his brightness and against his wisdom. Richard E. Nixon, 1971, August 15, said that the U.S. dollar is based on confidence. Also said that the dollar bill doesn't have any beast when we're supposed to defile it. And the only way you're going to defile it, you got to have something better because of Bodie and the one he raised. You follow that? We got no time to apologize. We ain't asking nobody for shit. We ain't doing it. Everything. If you want to pay the attorneys, pay them in your own currency. Pay them using NAND. Have faith wop. You feel me? Don't be trying to give them motherfuckers dollars and shit, nigga. We got our own fucking currency. Why the fuck are we got always some donations, and all that faggot shit? Now, motherfuckers, we are gods, and we're gonna be gods. We're gonna act like gods. We're gonna pay motherfuckers with our own currency. How the fuck are we a nation that ain't got shit and always begging for the white man's money? And you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm going? Okay. There you go.
Okay.
So we have to pay them. So this is what I was saying. Okay, what's the attorney that talking about we owe them? Okay, fuck it. How much we owe you? We owe you. No, we're not paying you that. It's illegal. The US dollar is illegal. It doesn't have a currency. The word fraud means failure to disclose. They did not disclose to you that this money is worthless. The Bitcoin cannot power nothing. It don't have any power. So if I try to pay you with this, I'm participating in a fraud. So I don't give a fuck if you're a U.S. attorney or whatever the fuck. You're going to accept our currency because you're representing our nation. You follow that? If you want to be paid, you accept our currency. If not, nigga, we don't owe you shit. And that's it. That's all. And no more telling my father's people that we got to pay a fucking attorney. Nigga, please, them days is over with. Follow that? Either they accept our currency or nothing. That's it. We're going to be a nation for real. We're not going to be no fraudsters no more. We're not gangsters, we're banksters. We're going to have to step up to the next level. Go ahead.
Another one of Malachi's miracles. Something that you literally witnessed yourself that Yanun did. What about what happened with the sons? The sons that saw him turn into the ball of vomit.
Okay.
Or what about the time when they tried to capture him and the nigga disappeared on him in real time? What are some of the miracles?
Okay.
Because people ain't hearing that from Ansari like yourself or people who have walked that walk.
First, let me say excuse me for my language.
You don't got to excuse yourself.
Because we went into a place where I'm extremely passionate about.
You don't got to excuse yourself for that.
I just want everybody to be real about being a nation. All the Sabians, let's be real about being a nation. I just want to get that out the way.
Yeah.
Be real about it. Don't be fucking around talking about we're a nation and we ain't got shit.
Right.
Right? We ain't got no cars, no planes, no nothing. That's serious to us.
Yeah.
Okay, now, let's get to the miracles. What's that question?
Miracles. You were there. You walked.
There was a brother named Ayub.
Come on.
God rest his soul.
Come on.
Him and I were very close. And there's a young brother who's still in the land of living named Katil.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You know Katil?
No, I know Ayub. I know of Ayub.
Well, Katil he's about like 47 now.
Yeah.
So Pop says whenever he does something, there's always two witnesses. Like me and Azam, that testimony. So when you look at Katil and Ayub, they were 11 years old. They were very young. And they were on the land or the mountains in New York. And they were with Pops and they were looking for candy. Like Pop had a big old bag of candy and they was eating the candy. He said, okay, y'all going back now. Going back to the house or whatever. And they went back to the house. Ayub testified to me, right, that when he and Katil was walking away from Pop, right, or they looked back, and he said they just stared at Pops, and Pop was looking into the air. He was looking into the sky. He was just doing like this. And within moments, Pop transformed into a purple beam of light, according to Ayub. I wasn't there. And shot straight into the sky. And Katil and Pop both saw it. They looked at each other and said, ah! And they ran. And they ran back to the house. Years later, Ayub, God rest his soul, was saying to me, my father is this and that. I don't want to get into it, but I gotta tell the testimony. He was saying he was disgruntled with his pops. I'm not gonna get into too much, but he was disgruntled. And he was like, yo, everything my father said, the doctrine ain't real and all this other stuff. And I said, what about that time, right? When you said to me that you saw your father transform into a purple beam of light and shoot straight into the sky. And Ayub just dropped his head and started doing like this. I said, can you explain that? He said, no. You know what I'm saying? That was the only thing that could humble Ayub. Nothing else could humble him. You can't talk about no doctrines. Man, that shit is bullshit. Man, I don't hear that bullshit my father talking about. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Right? But when I said, well, what about this? He dropped his head and just started shaking his head. And I later asked Katil, and Katil gave the same testimony. Katil don't like to give the testimony. Katil don't like the fact that he even saw it. But Katil will not deny it to this day. Some of y'all might be listening y'all remember Katia and Aston. You know what I'm saying? That was another one. But there was a bunch of them. But that's one that I didn't bear witness to. But if Ayub, he could have said at that moment, he could have said, I made it up. But he didn't.
What's one more that you bore witness to? What are the miracles you witnessed?
That I witnessed?
To
Oh, man. One of the miracles that I witnessed was just being around Yanun. For those who don't know, can I say this? Revelation chapter 3, verse 12. Can somebody pull that up? Because we have some people who may not know who Yanun is.
Come on.
Can anybody pull up in the KJV, Revelation chapter 3, verse 12? So we can understand who Yanun really is. For all of my beloved Christian people. You know what I'm saying? I had to apologize for my language, bro, because I be getting upset when it comes to our building our nation. I be expecting everybody to be on our same level.
It's all good.
Right.
Yeah.
Revelation 3, verse 12.
Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name.
I will write upon him my what?
New name.
So Jesus is talking in Revelation chapter 3, correct?
Tua.
Everybody okay? And why is Jesus saying that he's about to give us his new name? And this is for all my beloved Christians that are in the church. I know we all love the name Jesus. Some of us know him as Yahshua. But why is it that Jesus said he's about to give us his new name? And in the Greek, they say anunim is how they say it in Greek. But why? And what is this new name? And who can disclose this new name? And how will Jesus, give it to us? He said he's going to write it upon us. That means, what does that mean, young man, phase one? What does that mean for you in the spirit when you hear that the Lord said he's going to write upon you his new name? Upon you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a personable thing. It ain't gonna be something that you're gonna be able to look up in a dictionary. It'll be similar to what they talked about in the book of Jeremiah, where they said at one point in time, all that teaching, all that stuff is gonna be out the window. The spirit of truth, all that's gonna be written on your heart. Everything that the Lord wants you to know is gonna be written in your essence. So it'll be something that will be delivered unto you, literally upon you, not something that you go out and find in the world. Similar to when they say that's Jesus over there, that's Jesus over there, don't believe him. Or when they say, there goes the kingdom of God, there goes the kingdom of God, don't believe him. It'll be something that'll be uttered to you, mouth to ear, right? Or right into the heart, that you would have to have been around the being himself or around the beings who are around the being to be able to know this is that being or this is that name.
So how did Pop, Dr. Malachi Zell, first know what that new name was? How did he first came to know who and what his name was?
Well, if I can remember properly, it wasn't even a name, it was a tone and a light,
right,
which was green.
That's right.
And that light came to him similarly to the story of Musa, all right, that sort of okay,
yeah,
right, where he had to walk with Al-Qadir, and the people thought it was Musa, or Musa, or Moses, that had the most knowledge of all. And Allah Ta'ala had to explain, no, surely you don't know that there's one who has more knowledge or another degree, a different degree of knowledge that you don't possess. You have to meet him at the junction of the two Niles, all right, or where the two seas meet. So you have to go and meet Melchizedek or Melchizedek or Melchizedek at that point of that place. So he said he was walking in the alley, from what I remember, if this was properly remembered. And in that alley, a green light came to him, similarly to what happened in the movie Meteor Man.
Yeah.
And a green light came to him and entered in through his stomach area, and it resonated with him, and it became a part of him. And that's when he started over, and he had a conversation with someone who we call Melchizedek or Melchizedek, and was saying, I'll be there whenever you need me. And it took him a while to understand that he was speaking to a reflection of himself. He said it took till he was 40 years old for that light to fully download into his actual being, and he became it.
That's right. So, Yanun, come on, name that Al-Qadir called him.
Come on. Let's talk about Yanun, because my phone died, but let's keep going.
And what does Yanun mean?
Yanun is a lot of meanings to it. If I say Yanun, I'm saying old inert or old eternal waters, primordial waters. Yanun, nu. Because you know, nu is masculine, all right, or nun, but they're both meaning the primordial water, primeval waters, right?
And also Olight. Go ahead.
Or light, right? Because nun, all right. Also, Yanin. Or nun, old fish, which was similar to what the vehicle that El-Qadir traveled on.
It's called what?
Nin. a fish,
Right.
or a big or a whale,
Right.
or a big fish,
Right.
right. So that was similar to what that submarine was,
Right.
That was Jonah. All right, when he was cast off of the ship, he said, "Throw me into the waters," because of the storm, and they was saying that he brought that storm on the people that were on that craft.
Right.
He was thrown into the waters, and the submarine swallowed him up.
That's
All right, that same symbol, or that fish, or that submarine, or that being that can travel underwater that El Qadir stood on was the same type of symbol of fish that they told Moses to watch out for. All right, remember when the fish came back to life and jumped out of the boat. You see what I'm saying? So Nin, or fish. So Nun, you have Nin as in fish, you have Nin as in the primordial or primordial waters, and you have Nun as, okay, so you help me explain a little more about the light part. You said, oh, light. What are you getting light out of Nin?
Well, when we say Yah, the way he taught us, right?
Yeah.
We were Ansars. Yah is an Arabic letter, you know that? And Nun is an Arabic letter.
Right.
Yah is symbolic of the letter Y, and Nun is symbolic of the letter N. You know
Right,
that?
right.
Yah means O, and Nun means light, meaning it represents Nur,
Okay, Nur.
right?
Tur.
Which means light, as in the 93rd name of Allah, or
Right.
God, which
Come on.
is the light,
Come on.
or the intellect.
Nur.
Right. And you said earlier, when Yanun was receiving his initiation, he
Green
felt
light.
a woo-woo feeling in his belly.
Yep.
Where we get woo now
Yeah,
from,
yeah.
right? And or woo sabat, which is the secret.
You know what that woo is? You say it, woo, 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 woo. It's a tone, a vibration.
Say that again. Do that again. I felt that from over here. Yeah.
You're gonna feel it,
Yeah.
because you'll hear
Yeah.
the monks.
Yeah.
All right. I gave people a sign to say monk and nuns, monk and nun, the monks and the nuns.
Yeah.
All right. Pay attention to them, because they are speaking about saving themselves and either reaching nirvana or heaven, and doing it through virtuosity. You look at the word vert, you get green. Virtuosity. Right. So when the monks would chant, they do
Yeah.
oh.
I feel that too. Yeah, it feels good.
Now, when you speed that up, it becomes So if you're saying you're gonna speed up your frequency and you're still doing the original compassion of Buddha, you haven't sped up. You see what I'm saying? You would literally have to do woo 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 woo. And the more you do that, the more revolutions in that sound, the higher the pace or the frequency becomes. So if you were to, I told you, just do it 30 seconds, you'll feel the difference. It's deeper than just saying, oh, it becomes, and the more you do it, you know this, the faster you do that frequency, it seems to be more, just one frequency, as opposed to separate pulses. All right, and that's that green light when it picks up from the amber of whoa, whoa. This is called nan or nanometers. All right, we measure it in nanometers, and nanometers is saying this is how many meters or nanometers or distance between the wavelengths of this frequency. You see what I'm saying? So you go from 400 to 700. You hear me? And the more meters or nanometers or measures of that wavelength that you have, the higher the frequency. You hear me? So peak that number too, from 400 to 700 of the visible light spectrum. And peak that 7 to 4, if we were to flip it around, to 74, as in the hidden secret. Okay, the one that's told to come out and extol. 74, chapter 74, sort of 74:30. Over it is 19. You hear me?
Yeah,
and who's that 19th elder?
Oh, yeah.
Who's that 19th elder?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
That's right.
Come on.
Come on. Hey, I love that, man. For those who don't know, this is my son, Phase 1.
Come on.
And this is the first time I believe we've ever built on this level.
Sure.
And when you just did that tone just then, that's why I had to back up and smile. And see, okay, thank you, Jesus.
Sure.
That's all I can say. Thank you, Lord God.
Sure.
Because I didn't know you had that resonance in you.
Come on now.
No, listen, I know you can sing. The boy can sing, right? You know what I'm saying?
You say you
But
can. You say you can't.
Yeah,
you
Captain, have a good day.
What you say?
She said, I say I can't, but I can.
I mean, no. I knew you had all kind of tones, but I didn't know that they endowed you with that.
Oh, sure.
And that felt good.
Sure.
So now, see what we mean by Zodak?
Sure.
Now we can trust you
Righteous, yeah.
with his people
Come on.
to make sure that we all get that tone.
Come on.
Because we were looking for that.
Come on now.
We didn't know it was you, though. We didn't know. But if
In
you
the
teach-
world, didn't know.
Okay, so now watch this.
Come on.
Come here, give me a hug.
Come on.
See, he's still my baby. Look at him. Listen, come out and go to Revelation 14
Let's go.
and see what he just did. Revelation chapter 14. Somebody go to verse 6. Hey, Lord. You're making our job a lot easier, young man. You know what I mean? Revelation chapter 14, verse 6.
And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth, and the sea, and the fountains of waters.
Wait a minute. What verse is that about the new song? Go to verse 3.
That's Revelation 14, 3.
Okay. Thank you. Tell what happened.
And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth.
Woo! Jesus. So,
It's a tone. I talk about that. It's a tone.
Come on.
Only the 144,000 can learn it. So it's not even the tone itself. It's what we can do with it.
Right.
It's what we can do with it. It's like if okay, let's say we go to camp. All right, and before you have camp, all right, you have your preparing, your prep for a camp, and then before you go to the actual games and compete, you do conditioning at camp. So if you skip these steps and you go right into the game, you'll be missing some degrees. You understand that? Okay, so if I grab your hand and say, okay, you walking with me, and I say, did you do your prep? Because we about to go into conditioning, and you didn't do your prep, you'll still be able to do the conditioning, right? But now, my 90 push-ups, if I've been doing 90 push-ups for a whole year straight, my 90 push-ups ain't even gonna be the same. As a matter of fact, I shouldn't even do 90. I should be on to 360.
Yeah.
I should be on to 720.
Yeah.
All right, but if you did 90, that's fine. Okay, if you haven't done 90, you're in a higher mess. But you can still do the 90, but your build is only gonna be your build up to that point. You can't achieve another iota beyond what you're capable of achieving. Yeah. But we're gonna do this, let's say we do the same amount. All right, after a while, even me doing your amount isn't enough anymore. I have to keep going. You with me? So if I say, it's only gonna tune where you are. You understand that? It can't tune beyond that. It's only gonna reach over to this person and tune where they are.
Right.
My sheep know my voice. All right? But just because the sheep know the voice, that don't mean every sheep is the same.
That part.
You understand that?
But then you're going to get us all on one accord.
Come on, let's get all on one note.
Right.
A chord is dealing with music.
Right.
If I play a chord, it sounds like one note.
Right.
You see what I'm explaining to you?
Yeah.
I will get you all on one accord, but your C, your D, your E. You know what I'm saying? This person over here is F, this person over here is G, this person over here is B. You see what I'm saying? And what you say, how y'all able to get around each other? Y'all not, because we got them on one accord. That's how. It ain't always easy.
Right.
But according to what I was taught, easy ain't even the point. It ain't about whether or not it's easy, it's can it be done. And then after you figure out can it be done, what's the next step? He said, will you do it? You're dealing with willpower. So I didn't want to be the one. I am the one. And you can take the one, you can take the D off of it. We don't need an article. We don't need you to write about it. I am one.
Yeah.
You understand that? Notice we have to go through that school. We didn't just say, I am one with the all. After a while, you have to learn to remove this the.
And to say will.
I am one with all.
Right.
No D. I don't need the D.
Right.
Here's the phase. You trying to be the chosen one. I'm not trying to be the chosen one. I am chosen one.
Right.
You understand? You can say A, you can say whatever, but we don't need this central identity because we already know who sits on the throne.
Right.
Then all the other angels are going to rotate about that throne.
Right.
The one, Revelation chapter 5, that's already there and he's already cracked open the seventh seal. For me to act like I'm him is to be somebody myself that's remedial. You see what I'm saying? To say that I could go back and undo something that he did to be the one that did it.
Right. So they will be virgins, right?
Who? The 144,000?
Meaning they won't be defiled by the harlot.
Come on.
So we got some virgins here now.
Come on.
Right? Because these are they that came out of the great tribulation.
Yep.
Washed their robes, made them clean in the blood
Revelation
of the Lamb.
chapter 14. No, Revelation chapter
7 verse 13.
22 verse 14.
Right.
Right?
Which one you talking?
Are we doing 14, 22?
Let's do all of them.
Let's play.
Right. So we're thinking about
Yeah.
one of the sisters' testimony to it. right? That was in the military. You understand? These are they that have come out of the great tribulation and washed their robes clean in the blood of the Lamb, but they're not being defiled by the harlot. Right. They're not defiled. They went through it. Remember, I was like, how did you come out of that? Come on. And she said she heard your voice. Right? Hayarorose. She said she heard your voice. All right. Can I just get that sister to say yes?
Yes.
Right. Okay. You heard my son's voice, right?
Okay. Yes.
And you came out of the beast, right?
Yes.
Hayarorose. That's what I'm saying. So this is the revelation now. It's happening. It's no longer something we're reading about. We're actually living it. It's taking place. I love what I just felt in you, bro, son. Yeah. What just came out of you, I didn't even know that was there. I never knew you could do that. I heard many attempt, right? I've been around a lot of people, and I've heard many people do it. And I always walk away like, no, that's not it. But I never said nothing. And I never tried to do it, because I know that's not my position. That ain't my job. Somebody got to strike up the band. Come on. But in the day of Pentecost, it says they were all with one accord. Come on. Right? Yeah. With, not even on one accord. Come on. Because if you on the extension cord, it's going to block the electricity. We got to be with one accord. Come on. Then you started talking about the NAN. I didn't know all that you said. The nanometers. Right, the nanometers. Come on. And now we got NAN currency. Come on. So now we got to somehow, with all of these opinions, we got to get with one accord. Come on. So what do? Now we got to, come on, next level.
What we do, well, right now behind you, there on your screen is a green leaf with a drop of water behind you, or a drop of water in the center of it. Everybody has to meet in the center what it looks like to me. And remember the real currency. What's the real currency?
We would say love.
Soul.
And yeah, your soul is,
That's the only currency. And that brings us to the word psych, or psyche. Right. Only currency is the brain, the mind. These are like minds think alike. Okay, well, we got to put our brains together, we have to brainstorm. Everybody put on their thinking caps and come together. Not everybody's going to have the same expertise. Not everybody's going to care about money cards. You're going to meet some who do. You work with them on that. And you got some who are going to be caring about legal stuff. They're going to be more plain, black and white type people. And then you're going to have some who are going to be more attracted to the esoterics. You're going to have to know where to put them. You're going to have some that are interested in singing. You have some that are interested in cooking. You have some that are interested in making sure things just work how they need to work, keep everything in order, and they'll go to rest, each and every one of them, if they're able to sit in their seat properly, they'll go to rest assured, which means they'll rise assured. But if you try to put the cooking one at the door to do security, and you try to put the singer over here to do the cooking, you understand? And then you try to put the one who's supposed to be the cooking over here, or the security over here to do the singing job, it's out of order. So then, who is the one in the center in each and every situation? And if you can't find one among you, just find the one among you. And the one won't be a person, it'll be a purpose. What is the purpose? And if the purpose is for us to have this event or this gathering with no problems, there ain't no one person over the show. The show that I did literally on the internet, it wasn't even featuring me. I was a guest in my own show because the show was bigger than me, literally. Yeah. So the one who came on to do the show was the illusionist. And he started the show and he ended the show. Everybody said, where's phase one? I'm working on something bigger than what you're waiting to look at on the screen. I'm going to let you do that because that's what you want to do. Right. Even the people who were there, they were more focused and fixated on the magician or the illusionist and weren't paying attention to the grand scheme. You want to know why? Because they're not supposed to pay attention to that grand scheme. I was the only one who could pay attention to that grand scheme. And now that they graduated from that experience, then they'll be able to have either their own grand schemes, all aligned with the purpose, or they'll do another job or another thing where you're not supposed to be overseeing the whole thing. We got overseers. We still need a drummer boy. We still need somebody to cook for the soldiers. We still need somebody to go out there with the guns and be ready to go to war. You understand that? We need people to go out and beat the terrain. Right. We need somebody who knows heaven and earth. And we need soldiers who understand moral law. That's right. I don't want to be the cheat every time. Right. I'm not the cheat in every situation. I'm not the one with the grand scheme or the whole blueprint in every situation. You understand that? It depends. Let's say they want to try me on Arabic. I got to look Arabic. But if I wanted to win and I'm a part of a team and I need to send somebody in to compete in the Arabic Olympics, I'm not going to send me, I'll send Bodie. You see what I'm saying? Now, if we were going to do a rap battle, you might agree with me, we send in Faise. Because that's home to Omari or Faise. He's been there, he lived there, he can tell you where the bathroom at. And you walk as Ansari, you better know. It better be home enough that if you revisit their house, no matter if you ain't been there 30 years, you know where the bathroom at.
Yeah.
You can tell people where the utensils go.
Yeah.
That's a team. Where they say no I in team.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's a team. So if you're asking what do we do, you got to know who you're talking to. That's one thing Pops knew how to do that a lot of people don't understand how to do. Right. Because when they meet people, they only see themselves. And they don't understand that even seeing yourself is an illusion because you got so many aspects of yourself. You'll be mad one day, you'll be happy one day, you'll be upset 1 second, you'll be encouraged the next, you'll be discouraged the next. So you meet the discouraged version of you and you might be disdained because of it, all right? Or you might shut them out. You understand that you're shutting out an aspect of yourself. They've experienced it. Right. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, I want to say something. I was listening to it, but, I was hearing you listening and speaking, and when these, right, began to take notes, whether it's mental, ethically, or written notes.
Right.
And when their notes began to be spoken, you get what I'm going?
Sure.
Then we're going to have some instructions and structure.
Come on.
Because through these women here, we're going to be able to rebuild our father's nation.
Our one thing about having good women around.
Right.
Because they'll reflect whether or not you're operating in your best man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They'll be able to reflect that. You say, I'm his dad in the third, and the sisters don't agree, there's something wrong.
Right.
They can agree and they can bear witness to it, and you're doing something right.
Right. So we have to begin to organize things in what's the word we're looking for? Topics, subjects, layers, categories.
Sure.
Yeah. And once we get to identify each category of the replenishing of our nation, then we start filling in the blanks for each category.
That's a nation.
Okay.
As a nation, the police isn't doing the president's job.
Right.
He can't even be worried about what the president's doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He can't be doing a traffic stop saying, why isn't this congressman passing this bill over here?
Right.
You're in the middle of a traffic stop. Do your job. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to do traffic stops, you shouldn't be a police officer.
Right.
You need to be going to see if you can enlist or get elected to be this office or that office. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then not holding grudges if you don't get that seat. You understand? And hating on these people or throwing hate toward these people about what they're not doing. How about be the best police officer that ever lived? If that's your position, that's your role.
So there's a question for us.
Come on.
Ready?
Come on.
We're going into our doctrine now.
Come on.
Nuwapu.
Come on.
Who is the 15th Netert? The 15th deity of the 99 Neteru?
Who is it?
Aset.
Come on.
What is the 15th name of Allah or God in the Quran or in Islam?
That's it.
It would be El Qaharu,
Come on.
which means the dominant.
Come on.
What is the 15th element in the night? I'm asking this for a reason. And the reason why we went there is to be real clear. If the 15th name of the Neteru, the 99 Neteru, right? Which are the 99 names of power for us as Nuwapians. If the 15th name is Aset, which means the throne, right? And the 15th name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what did I say? El Qaharu, which means the dominant. The dominant. Dominant. You get that? And what do we hear? We have to dominate now. And the only way we're going to dominate is going to be through the throne of our women. Get it?
Right.
And as we begin to, who and what are we here to dominate, right? Genesis chapter 1, verse 20, what is it? 8. And let them have dominion, correct?
Yeah.
So,
Over the earth.
now, exactly. You see what we're doing? We're here to take over. We have to completely dominate. And the only way to do it is when our women, and let me tell you, Yanun, see I just said it to you? Because then we say last night was an impartation, right? Faise, don't be afraid, not that you're afraid.
Talk.
You are now free to be who you're really supposed to be. You listen to me, son. You no longer have to apologize to jealous folk. You hear me? You ain't got to explain yourself. You have to unfold completely so that they can unfold completely. You hear it? And when they unfold completely, the heavens is going to help us. And we're getting ready to establish heaven right here. Nawapo, Yanun told my sister, Don Nicoleon, he says that the name written, Revelation chapter 19, verse 12, that no man can explain is Nawapo. So now is our time, like you said, to show forth the power of Nawapo. You hear us?
What do you mean, Revelation what again?
Chapter 19, verse 12.
Okay, can we get that?
Let's go. Which one is that? Who's reading that?
Jade.
Okay, Jade. No, Jade is Arabic.
We gotta leave like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Let's do it. Revelation chapter 19, verse 12.
His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
Right. And Yanun called Don Nicoleon, and he says that name that he has that no one knows except for him is Nawapo. And so,
like that?
huh?
You said Nuwapo or Poo?
I'm not sure.
I'm just asking.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I just know that it was Nawapo. Whatever he told Don Nicoleon, it was a phone call conversation. And that stayed in my soul. And now when we talk to our beloved people who are Christians, we're letting them know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That we have to let people know, Revelation 19:12, who the rider on the horse is and what is that name written. Because no other person in the body of Christ can explain that. So now it's time when we say to show forth the power of Nawapo, this is what we're saying. It's time to unleash. We got to get busy like a beehive, phase one. You hear me, beloved? And we got to be working.
Saying the right words. Yeah.
Okay, why did you say mm-hmm? I heard Jade or one of y'all say mm-hmm.
We've been talking about the bees. We've been seeing the bees lately.
Mm-hmm.
How they all work together for a common purpose. When you say get busy like a beehive, it reminded me of that.
Okay. Well,
So I'm going to the rest of me good.
I think that was it. You said we got 5 more minutes, so let me just thank you all. Well, I'm gonna wait till you come back, but which one got my phone?
It's propped up on the table.
It's on the table?
Yes.
It's propped up?
Yes.
Okay. Well, everybody, we hope y'all enjoyed.
So, Pop, is there a restaurant upstairs?
It's this one right here. You want to use that?
Yeah, is there one upstairs?
Yeah, I'll take them out.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to end it out?
Yeah, we're going to end the live stream. Love y'all. God bless you. Peace. What do?